Welcome back. Hold on, let me plug the mic in. Sorry about the delay, you guys. Um, but I wasn't expecting. I thought my mic was plugged up. Let's put it that way. I did. I remember I took it. I just because the dog kept running around on the cord, so I didn't want to. I didn't want to have the. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Ooh, 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 ooh. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Give me a second. Okay, is that better? All right. You hear me now? That's got to be better. Welcome back to another Commercial Trucking Chronicles, and I am your boy Swizzy. Hey, live. Hello there. How you doing? Parides. If I said that correctly, Parides. How you doing, Parides? Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to turn my mic up. Better. That's better. Good. I'm doing pretty good. Appreciate you for asking. Thank you very much for that. Yeah. Um, I would like to share my screen on OBS with you guys. If you hang around with me, I'll get it up there for you. Um, so it's so there's been a lot of news, man, coming up, right? We're hearing a lot about the gas prices and stuff is going stupid crazy. I just put $20. I appreciate you guys hit that like button for me, man. Where you guys coming in from and watching me from? Let me know where you at, where you from. And I gotta update that bot thing because those prices of gas are weird question to ask. What sports do I like? Um, I can enjoy a good basketball game, football. Um, yeah, NASCAR racing. I love NASCAR. The Olympics are pretty awesome too. That's coming up too. I like the skiing and stuff and all those different matches that they have. So I'm pretty much diverse when it comes to sports. I'm a Jets fan. But the fuel prices, they say it's about to hit home, man. You guys get ready. I'm telling you. Um, word to the wise. Word to the wise. All right. Um, don't let it go down on a half a tank because that may be the difference um, in one thing or another for a lot of people. That might have a vehicle and then they'll have other, uh, responsibilities and things. Um, but it's crazy to think that, national average is like $4, and $4 and some change right now for regular unleaded. This is just regular, okay. Um, I was alive a little earlier. I used my son's car to go to one of my had an appointment to go to, and I had to put gas in his car, and he only takes like the 90. I think he said 93, like the top grade one, right? Can't put regular unleaded in there in his car, and so don't let your car get down under a half a tank. That's a wise, my little uh, wise words for you guys, man, because it can make a difference. You know, um, you want to keep your tank. You want to top it off. You don't want to be trying to get it off E, right? Get it off E. Throw something in it. Like, no, keep it up over a half a tank, right? And when it comes down or gets anywhere near there, top it off. And try to find those days where the prices are, they give you a deal. I get fuel rewards. So, I've been opting to that years and years ago. So I always get, like something off of each gallon, and I never fuel without it. I never fuel without it. I always opt into that to get that little bit of change off. And you can imagine over the years how much I probably have spent, but there's never been a time that I bought any fuel ever, unless I went to a off-brand um, fuel station, and I use Shell all the time. Shell, Rotella, oil, Shell, gasoline for my personal vehicle and stuff like that. And always always been a big fan because I just the engine performance that you get from the Shell gas. If you ask me, now I don't know, man. You get other stations. People say, try this station, or I only use this kind of gas, and people are like they pretty much they kind of stick with the because you can get bad gas, man. You can get some bad gas, man. You literally can get some bad gas that can ruin your vehicle. So be on the watch out for that too going on, because you never know. You never know. So I'm glad you guys are joining me today. There's not many people. It was more, but the algorithm, YouTube, man, it's getting YouTube algorithm, the algorithm. Um, I was just watching some videos and listening to some other content creators, especially the ones they're saying, especially if you do long form um, videos. If you're doing long form content creation, you're gonna see that there's some changes. There's been some changes that YouTube has done, and um, I you know I kind of welcome their changes because I'm still a new YouTuber, or a small channel. I got about 500 and a little over 550 subscribers, and I'm happy for those guys. So if you like what you're seeing, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and support the growth of the channel. It's growing slowly but surely. However, with YouTube doing what it's doing, like now, it's just kind of like having some issues and stuff again, and that's kind of to be expected. But the more important thing is, as a content creator, that you don't let that um, keep you from making your videos and stuff. So you want to still get up there. You're gonna still have some people that are gonna subscribe. It may not be as many people as you might normally get when you do your streams, but I'm still working on trying to get my YouTube and my live streams. I'm still working on, editing and there's CapCut. If you guys haven't heard of that, CapCut. Now I usually use OBS to do most of my editing if I'm going to do some editing. A lot of times I just do raw form video like this one here. There's no editing, there's no sound bite, there's no guest, there's nothing. It's just me straight talking to the camera. Um, and I would love to, come to you guys with so much more of a different approach. You know what I'm saying? Like with a different professional, more a more screen. So I'm still working on it. So I got the CapCut thing. CapCut is nice. I'm trying to watching some tutorials. How do I incorporate CapCut and OBS Studios? How do I bring those two together to be able to do overlays, to be able to create different scenes? And I have that. I kind of got it down, but I'm new. I'm not. I spend a lot of time sitting, guys. I swear, I tell you no lie. I spend a lot of time sitting down, watching tutorials, trying to download some of the apps or whatever it is to my computer. You know, different files that I can use to do my editing. And I mean, I've done a few. I've done one or two, but I don't like to put up stuff that's not to my um, approval rating. My approval rating of some of my videos. I'd rather come up here and do a raw form video like this with y'all because I know this is just I can be as authentic as I can be right here, right? And this is me. This is me definitely just without the makeup, without what I'm saying. It's just you get me. And so no background, no anything, no nothing. So I'm comfortable with that. My approval rating of that is like it's not gonna fall below that because I'm just gonna come up here and be raw with it. When I do edited stuff, content, and I try to work on something, if it's not to my what I expect, especially after watching so many times over and over a tutorial of how you do this, what you do to do that, to get, give these different functions to the keys. You got to use the right key, and the tools. If I do something and it don't turn out how I like it, I'm not gonna put it up here. So um and that's streaming, but that's not live streaming. So if I stream and I don't, you know, turn it into a file that I'm gonna release or put a thumb tag on and push it or put it up here so that the algorithm can push it out, right? If it ain't really to my liking, I just won't do it. I use it as a like a test. So I go back over it and I try to edit it and critique it a little bit more. And I do that. I do a lot of that. I do that a lot, bro. I do it a lot. There's a lot that I'm doing behind the scenes you guys don't realize. And one day you're gonna be shocked and say, man, his whole channel changed. Yeah, because um, this is for me. It's a second job, but I take it very serious. I take it very serious. I take the computer serious. I mean, I didn't. I invest time and money, and believe me, if I'm going to invest some time, and I have nothing but that, thankfully, I'm blessed with that time. So I'll give my time to um, learning this stuff so that I can better bring things. Bring you the content better, bring you better, more professional content that you deserve and that you're expecting. Now looking at me, you probably don't expect all of that stuff, but in a minute you're going to get more than what you bargained for over here. I'm telling you, because I'm working behind the scenes on some very you know um, I'll say high level editing software. And once I get it down, like I said, I'm gonna have it, it's gonna be like, you did that. Yeah. And I take pride in it too. With the click of a mouse, we will launch the video. you know, with the click of a mouse. And that's the thing, man. Um, a lot of stuff, it's like we wait for things to happen. I mean, they can actually lower the price of fuel with a click of a mouse. I'm pretty sure. They scroll over that little discount thing that they, and click it, and all of our prices will go down. But they're not gonna do that. they they clicking on go up. They clicking on the upside. Like, yeah, raise the bar. They drag the bar higher. It's click. It's like you go to you click on something, you drag it down the screen, and everything turns blue, and then you can copy it like that. Well, they're doing the same thing with the prices. They dragging the price higher. They click on it and turn everything red, so your pockets are in the red. But anyway, I just, I've been working on some things, still working on it. It's this two heads are better than one. And I don't have nobody that really, is interested in trying to do editing. And I don't want to pay for it. Not when I can have it all at my fingertips. Like if I'm one click away from, getting what I need out of this daggone computer, I'm gonna sit here till I get to that point. Day after day. And that's because, I'm dedicated to this thing, man. Someone from Australia. Tig 321. Hello from Australia. Hey, I appreciate you for joining me from Australia. Actually, this guy's from Australia right here. He's a big YouTuber. Oh no, I'm not blocking anyone. I haven't been up here. How you doing? Motivated 2010. How are you? I haven't no, I haven't done I wouldn't do that. I haven't I'm going live a little here and there. I was traveling for a minute over the weekend with my daughter's graduation and stuff. Okay. Well, but I haven't been up here like that. So I did take a little while to just be in the moment with, at the graduation and stuff. Thank you very much. It was awesome to see, awesome to be a part of, awesome to be able to travel there and show support to my daughter. And she deserved every minute of, the celebrations and stuff. That man, that place was packed. When I say it was packed, it was packed. So everybody there is, um, everybody that was there, Travis said somebody traveled from real far. There was on the microphone. It came from Hawaii. I was like, well, I came from North Carolina, so I came over at least 600 miles. It was about 600 miles for me to travel. So my community post, you guys, you got to go check it out. It's calling for everyone. I put a public service announcement. I need everybody to, especially you or D, make sure that you guys are. I think we got to just start wearing masks again back in public and stuff like that. Just stay. I would say stay 6 feet away from people, right? Like, yo, you gotta step back over there, you know. But we don't live in spirit of fear, of course. But we want to be, we want to be able to, use our better judgment and we want to arm ourselves with education about this stuff because it's new. That wow. Well, we pray that that you're in good health. We pray that you stay in good health. We want everyone needs to know because what I'm getting is this is a play. This is like a replay, not a play. This is a replay of the yes, pollen is crazy too. I did say that earlier. This is a replay of when we had, the padlock epidemic. So I use that as the code, the padlock epidemic. The economy went into the toilet. I guess we were really, really we were hurting bad, economically. And then, if you guys remember, out of nowhere, that's when Bitcoin blew up, right? It just blew up during that time. And we also had the Orange Crybaby in the office at the time too, who didn't really do much to stop them people from, getting off those cruise ships or on those planes or locked down or wherever they were at. They were allowed to come on home after they was on vacation, supposedly, and people were getting sick. There was an outbreak. And then there were people that were just after that, once the people kind of got home from being abroad, I remember there was a cruise or something. There was all these people on this cruise ship. It's like now we're having a replay of the exact same thing. And I mean, like these markets right now, they're almost going into such big discounts. And, you ask yourself these questions like, man, they kind of put a little spin on it, but it's almost the same play. It's like it's the same playbook. It's the same playbook. So we gotta stay cautious, stay vigilant, stay informed, and make sure that we're keeping a good, safe distance. Traveling and who knows what they're gonna say next, because there's. I was saying that there was going to be padlock downs. I was saying, use that word, code word. You don't want to get shot over here. Padlocked everything. It was coming. The high cost of fuel, causing people to, travel and everything to become too expensive where you basically, you're trapped. Right? And they've been able to orchestrate that. They've been able to orchestrate this. And so that's what we're seeing. But now it's like, okay, what's hand in hand with it? Because they got more plans than a little bit. For real. They got big plans, not no little bit of plans. I just want to make sure my mic is clear. You guys can hear. Testing. Cough right in the mic. Yeah, that's one way to spread it. So then it said, trying to think what they calling this thing now. What they calling this thing? I seen the name of it. So it can be this can be transmitted through person to person. So in my community post, I put that saying. So my question, and this needs to be your question as well, is it airborne that this is transmittable from human to human, or does it have to be by physical contact? And that's where like you don't want to really come into contact. You don't really want to have any sweat or any moisture, or so if it's airborne. And I mean, you still want to wipe things down and still want to take those precautionary measures. I mean, I always keep in my truck at work Lysol disinfectant spray. Now nobody drives my vehicle. We don't have slip seats. But yesterday, I'm not working today. Okay. Day before yesterday, I had to take another vehicle because mine was going for service to get a preventative schedule, routine schedule maintenance, top off the fluids and whatever. So they throw me in another truck for the day. As soon as I got in there, I'm like, "Ugh, I don't want to touch it because it don't not nowhere clean like mine." And so I'm like, ugh. But that's why, and so I got, I had to wear gloves yesterday. All day yesterday, I wore gloves at work. I'm not touching the steering wheel. You got to be. You just if it's important to you to protect your health. If it's important to you, you're gonna do whatever you got to do. That means if you need to wear a mask, you're gonna mask up. If you need to wear gloves, you need to wear some gloves. No surgeon goes into surgery without a mask and gloves. So we need to treat this the same way, just in public. I mean, it's gonna be a little, weird to be running around here all masked up again, but we'll get through it. If that's what it takes, we got to do what we got to do. You know what I'm saying? So I really would just urge everyone to, load up on hand sanitizer, load up on, and before it gets expensive. Okay. See, that's the next thing because they know that once that stuff becomes, it's like supply and demand, and then the supply shock might, you never know. You never know. I mean, I've been in transportation and um, you know, delivering goods for over 10 years, food, you name it, you know, household goods, all kind of products, um, flowers. I mean, I don't want to keep naming stuff. Hats, jeans, Tommy Hilfiger, all kinds of stuff. I done seen what's in the back of it. I said, man, this truck got chock full of some expensive stuff. And they fill it up too. And that's the thing. They want every dollar. They want every dollar. They want the money. They in the business of making money, man. Come on now. I got a plan too, but you know what? God told me keep it to myself. So that's what I'm gonna do. Cause transportation, distribution, and the mass production of goods that are going to be of some good, I got you. So I'm, we almost there. We almost there. We are almost there. So for that reason, I'm not getting rid of my trucks. You know what I'm saying? But help is on the way, you guys. I'm telling you, help's on the way. So I want to mass produce, but guess what? When the time is right, I'm gonna be the plug. Yeah. So I forget the name of this thing, but yes, it is airborne, said to be airborne. And right now, with the pollen and stuff in the air, you might feel like you have a little respiratory thing and stuff going on. That's natural. That's natural. Um, I'm not gonna say run out and go get no vaccination. I'm not gonna say you do that. Um, go let it, go. I remember, man, I had to go get the testing thing. They stuck this thing on my nose. They stuck it on my nose. I'm like, yo, you're sticking it too far. I'm sticking it too far. What you trying to do? Poke my brain? You know? I just don't want, no one wants to have to go through that again. So let's just believe, uh, believe God and keep a positive, attitude and pray for the nation and for the world and for healing and for a quick recovery for anybody that might be under the weather. All right. So that they don't pass off no germs, nobody. And the kids and everything and so forth. And, we want to keep all of that keep we want, let's do that rather than get worried about something, because remember, we made it out, and we're going we made it out, and we'll God's gonna make sure he got this. He got to trust in something higher than himself. There's things like this man-made stuff to scare us all. Australia has gone to the toilet, and the fuel is over $4 per gallon. Unfortunately, you guys are right there, man. You guys are right there where they had that big what they have over there. And they had riots and stuff or something going on in Australia. Let me just see if I could pull that up. Okay. Australia fuel prices. All right. So I guess here's your Australian government is talking about they trying to lower the price. Let's see what they're talking.
A major take-up to our gas supply is set to slash prices. The government is announcing a new scheme forcing exporters to keep a portion of our product here to shore up East Coast reserves. On the left, a gas field in Western Australia. On the right, one from the East Coast. The price of gas in the West roughly between $6.50 and $8.50 a gigajoule. The cost in the East double between $13 and $15. One major difference, WA keeps more of its gas for itself. Australia has been the only gas exporting country in the world without some form of reservation. That changes. From July 1 next year, the equivalent of 20% of gas exports will be required to be supplied to Australian markets, with the promise of lowering prices here. The reserve won't apply to contracts entered before this year, but will apply to.
Sounds like you guys got a lot of oil, but you're exporting it. And usually, like, I mean, a lot of import and export, why are we, if these, my dog is crazy. So these different nations, Australia has gone, yeah, they're gone, that's right. They're gone to the toilets, sounds like it. But that's my dog. So this is what I don't understand. Now, everybody, different countries, they assist other countries. They assist other countries. It's good to do business and trade. You want to have commerce to be, the free market, open trade and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm with that. You know, but a lot of times it's more profitable to sell your stuff outside of your country than it is to sell it within the country. And if the bulk of 80% of your, what you harvest, or the fuel that they're refining or drilling, or the oil, I mean, I would say, this is what they say: make bigger barges, so that we can export more, rather than, hey, make them a little smaller. That way, we don't have to ship so much out, and then we can keep so much here as a reserve, if that makes sense. But if they keep enough on reserve, they can't inflate the price on the people, because it's plentiful, right? We got plenty of it. But they'll justify, why they need to sell it overseas to make more money. Instead of buying imports, exactly. when they're buying, so they're buying imported oil, but the fuel, but they're shipping what they make. They're shipping it out to sell. I mean, there's these weird trade deals that each nation has with each other, and it could have to do with the resources. And so, even though they harvest or they may make or drill and get all of the resources, they've already entered into some kind of trade agreement where, okay, so we're rich in oil, but we lack in other things. So, the trade-off is what we harvest here, we're going to ship or we're going to export and trade with another country so that they will give us the things that we might need. And a lot of times, that's how it is. Those trade agreements, we're not at the table when they talk about that. They're not letting us know, like, well, yeah, you could say, oh, we're rich in oil, yeah, but how much of it stays here, right? We're using that to be able to buy military protection, right? So a third or fifth or 80%, 60% of everything that we get to keep a little for the country, but the bulk of it has to get used on the world stage, and then therefore, we're protected from our allies, or not even allies. We're protected from our enemies. I mean, yeah, they're bartering. They're bartering with the natural resources in a way that does not benefit the people of that country, because the resources, they're plentiful, and the people know that because they've been there forever. It's not like you can tell some people like we're from a land that's rich and wealthy in oil, but we seem to have to pay too much money for it, or our prices are just way too high. So what's going on with the riches of the nation that we live in? And the leaders are swapping or bartering it off with other nations, probably for protection. I should work at the Pentagon. I should be somebody in foreign affairs. I'd get it done. I make sure everybody happy. They'd be like, no, you probably turn corrupt too, Swizzy. They get you somehow, they buy you out. I would never fold. Never. I'm that serious. They'd be mad at me. They'd be mad at me. But yeah, it looks like that's what's going on over there, man. I'm glad you mentioned that, because we're dealing with it here. We're dealing with it here, you know? And the people that are in charge over here, well, they have control. I guess the US has its problems too. The US has its problems. And you know what they do? They act like it's not a problem, and they go get into everybody else's business. And then when everything blows up back here at home, they're like, oh, snap. Like, word? Somebody will wind up getting fired, right? They say, oh, well, you're going to resign. You're going to have to resign because, you're supposed to be handling that. Or they get fired. Yeah, they get fired. By this administration, they get fired. Getting fired. They love to fire somebody. But this whole big thing has to do, I go all the way back to the petrodollar. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still believe that there's this, there's it's smoke and mirrors, man. Sorry to say this, but some of these people shouldn't run a country. You're right. You're right. You're right. But they've entered into a lot of deals. A lot of these deals were made hundreds of years ago, or whatever the case is. Some nations are just, they're in debt, of course, to other nations, and that's like the big way to kind of create, some kind of to keep an ongoing debacle, right? It's just an ongoing debacle, because you can look at the current conditions of the markets. Now, everything is good when the markets are up, right? Everybody's making money. when it starts to, when they, when somebody gets it kind of gets it twisted, and they finally realize that they're they're in over their head as a nation. Like, we're in over our head as a nation. Like, we got how many trillions of dollars in debt. So now we got to start resorting to doing some other things. You know what I'm saying? While we not paying attention to our debt, we just go get into everybody else's business and stuff. Tell them, oh, but you owe us because we protected you. Yeah. That's nice. That's always nice to be able to be able to always come to another country or go to another country and say, hey, you owe us. After ran up the bill so high, you can't pay it. Now you're gonna go trying to collect from everybody. And then once you get, what you gonna do with the money? Mismanage it? They got that. I think they're mismanaging money all around. They said they was trying to cut down all the fraud, the waste, and abuse, but then it looked like they just, they're really looking like scammers themselves. You were trying to cut, so you were stepped in and took all the names off the buildings and fired all these people trying to find all the fraud and all the waste and the abuse. Let me pull up this article right here. Let me tell you, you guys probably haven't heard about this. What's going on? You ain't heard about this. Okay, here we go. Just in the last week, and a lot of people are calling it. It's 2 days ago. I'm just pay this real quick. You can hear this. Hear it yourself, because I can't. I can tell you what I'm going to see. Scammers. Check this out.
We are witnessing the most corrupt White House presidency in American history. It's not even close. The corruption is global. Today, I want to zero in on just one piece of it here at home, and that is the Trump and Melania meme coins. These are the coins that Trump sold to retail investors, and he's pocketed hundreds of millions of dollars from those sales, even as retail investors have lost millions on the Trump and Melania meme coins. And here's the catch. Whether the value of these coins goes up or down, Trump makes money. In other words, the value of it could collapse entirely, but it's the trades. And so what Donald Trump's been doing is trying to pump trades. Because every time a trade is made,
Fees.
Donald Trump pockets a little bit of your money.
Fees.
He's won hundreds of millions of dollars, even as people who trusted in him have lost billions. We are witnessing the most corrupt.
So basically, he's being sued. I don't know if you guys know. He's being sued. And I said it too. I had made a video when they had that attempt on his, the guy that ran up in there. He's a software tech developer. You guys didn't know? This dude was a software tech developer. I said, really? I wonder if he had anything to do with those meme coins that they came out with. Was he a part of the software development team? And then as it unfolds, like a lot of the early investors, what they usually typically do is they get in first because they're a part of the ICO or the IPO or whatever, right? And they have a good share in the company. Now you don't have people that put billions of dollars into the very development stage. And if I can pull up the guy's name, he was hot, and he's suing because now they're early investors. So when retail usually buys, you're buying in after these guys. You're really pushing that price up, and they're actually selling off at that point because they're making their money when you come in. So what they did, well, what this administration, the developers or whoever, they blocked the early investors from being able to sell. These people were not allowed to exit their positions when they were in profits. And the coin had went to $24 and fell all the way to, I think it was $7. These people lost billions, and they were the initial people in the early stages who invested to help boost the price. And then one of the people that was pardoned by this administration owns an exchange, a crypto trading exchange. I don't know if you might be familiar with him. His name is CZ, and it's the Binance owner, or he had went to jail, got out, and then he was pardoned by Donald Trump. And so he's suing him. He's suing him. Like, yeah, how you gonna sue the man that pardoned you for a couple $100 billion, whatever what CZ did before, where the SEC came after him, and CZ went to jail. He went to jail, got out, and was pardoned. Yo, it's so crazy. So it's got scam written all over it. But I'm gonna tell you something. That don't mean that blockchain is not here to stay, ladies and gentlemen. That does not mean that what it means is, yeah, it's still the Wild Wild West when it comes to crypto. It's the Wild Wild West. It's the Wild Wild White House. It's the Wild Wild, it's the Wild Wild scam. These guys are pulling off, man. They're doing it, and it kind of does make you think about the role that Gary Gensler played as the cop on the beat when he was kind of shutting down a lot of these companies and actually protecting a lot of the investors, about people, but kind of at the same time holding back innovation. And I talked a lot about that before in a lot of my other videos, but to see the level of schemstress, I said schemstress, the level of scam that these people are doing, because I guess we have the Senate on our side, we have Congress behind us. Everybody, we want to all pass the bill to give clarity to these markets. They're trying to they're trying to be. They're just like, all right, well, we're just gonna scam people and do this while we passing these legislations, while we passing legislation and passing law, we crookedly scamming people in the meantime. That's why I said we're looking at the biggest scam. This is gonna go down in history, guys. This is gonna go down in history as just, there's certain things that they need to, like when they say, oh, we're going to delist this and that coin, and cease. Some of these exchanges need to cease and desist or sit. I forget how they say it. Cease and desist. Cease to sell, trade, swap, or the purchase or any of that coin. All right, because it's not the founders are corrupt. And when you find out that the founders are corrupt, you should just delist, cease, send a cease. When they send you a letter to cease to exist, I forget what it's called, cease and desist or something. I forget. But you get a letter that tells you cease operations, shut it down, or we're coming to do it. I don't think he even cares if he gets one of those. He's probably like, oh, I don't like their decision, so I'm not going to listen. Who's you telling me to cease and desist? I'm getting paid over here. It's all right. We developed this, and we're going to not. We're never stopping. We're innovating everything, and everything is innovated. Be on the lookout. That's all I can tell you. I'm not a financial advisor, man. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You know, I can tell you how much money I lost. Take it on the chin, Jane. I broke my jaw. I'm lucky I got what I got. You know, I had to hold on to it. But be careful with the fraud and all of that stuff, man. You know, it's crazy. It's sad. It's sad that, you know, you already got Congress, you know, trying to, you know, agree on some of some legislation so that we can move forward, you know, with the global markets. Whether, you know what I'm saying, we got a, you know, a oil tanker that's, you know, gonna be, you know, they just decided to take the oil tankers, keep the ship. Not real. What? Yeah. I collect these things. I love them. But we literally living in them times, man. We're literally living in those times. I collect those things. I collect a lot of sailboats. I collect a lot. I have enough of them here. This is one of my favorite ones. See here. So this is one of my favorites. As you can see, real lifelike stuff all in there, like it's kind of dusty. I had to clean this thing off, but I love these things. I've been collecting for years. You know, I had an opportunity to go buy a boat a week or so ago. Slipped right through my fingers. Could have bought myself a nice boat. Something really nice for the weekends. For the weekends. Am I a car guy? Not too much. My son's into cars and motorcycles. I'm into pickup trucks, heavy equipment, toys like that. You know, demolition stuff. You know what I'm saying? But my thing too now is tech. I've been into tech. Kind of always had the, you know, I always like science and math. So that's why I like YouTube, man. And then plus being able to reach the people and talk to you guys. Okay, we're still on. Just want to make sure we still got sound. As long as those lights right there and those speakers are going, we're still on. But yeah, there's a lot, man. I mean, there's been, you know, the latest news. They're talking about the Trump family, man. And they're suing these people. And that's why I said about that guy that ran up in the White House. He was a software developer. I mean, I'm sorry, not the White House. He ran up in that dinner. He was a software tech developer. You might have to do the research. It may all just come out. His name could be mentioned somewhere in the, you know, as one of the early developers or something. I'm sure he had something to do with it. He was a tech guy, you know? Listen to this.
A Chinese crypto mogul is suing a crypto firm co-founded by President Trump and his family for alleged fraud. Justin Sun is accusing the Liberty Financial of freezing his investment to pressure him into promoting one of its other offerings. Now, Eric Trump is calling the suit ridiculous. Senior White House correspondent Selena Lang is here for more. Selena, this is a major escalation of a feud that erupted on social media earlier this month. What's the latest?
Yeah, Andrew, I mean, this is an extraordinary implosion of the relationship between crypto billionaire Justin Sun and Trump family's cryptocurrency company. Now, Sun was a major supporter of World Liberty Financial back from the early days. He had cultivated these deep ties with the Trump family, but now he is suing the Trump family's flagship crypto venture for allegations of fraud. He is claiming that World Liberty managers see the project as a golden opportunity to leverage the Trump brand to profit from fraud. Now, the lawsuit also says Sun has invested roughly $45 million into the company, and he's accusing the company of freezing his investments in the firm's digital token to try and ratchet up pressure on Sun to promote another one of the company's offerings. The lawsuit also alleges that World Liberty engaged in an illegal scheme to seize property, causing Sun and his company to incur hundreds of millions of dollars in damages. Now, World Liberty is denying the allegations. Co-founder Zach Witkoff posted a following on social media saying that the recent lawsuit is a desperate attempt to deflect attention from Sun's own misconduct. His claims are entirely meritless, and World Liberty looks forward to getting the case thrown out promptly. But no doubt, this is a major explosion of what was a very close business relationship.
So, you know, President Trump is set to host a cryptocurrency gala at Mar-a-Lago this weekend. What are you watching for there?
Yeah, so all of this comes as there is growing scrutiny over that battle on Saturday in Mar-a-Lago. We're expecting hundreds of top holders of Trump's meme coin to convene for what their organizers are calling the most exclusive crypto and business conference in the world. This is an effort to boost interest in Trump's digital asset. Many of the attendees who are going to go have already spent millions of dollars, and some of that flows directly to the Trump family. So for some context here, Trump had launched his meme coin, this digital currency, just days before his inauguration. The coin's value has fallen dramatically from its peak. For instance, an investor who bought $10,000 worth at the top would now hold less than $700. Now, Senate Democrats are asking the organizer for answers to understand the extent to which Trump and his family are profiting off of these cryptocurrency ventures. Critics
I know.
of this have called the event a brazen pay-per-play opportunity, accusing Trump of trying to personally profit by selling access to the presidency. Now, Trump and the White House have repeatedly denied that his private business interests create a conflict.
Okay, so we already know that he's a crook. All right. You already know that. You know that, man. I don't know how his casinos are doing. I think they went under too. It's sad, man. You know, I mean, the man's a felon, bro. Come on, let's be clear on this. You get a high-ranking felon launching crypto projects. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been to one either myself. I mean, I think the name was just kind of on the building, and they had the building. Like I don't know if he did actually have a casino license. I don't know. That would be something that only somebody down at the at the local town office or clerk's office or wherever would be able to say, yeah, he did officially have a legitimate license to deal some cards for money. But I mean, hey, they probably will shadow ban me for this. I don't know. But my whole thing is that, I think the sooner that this 4 years is up, the whole world will be in a better place. I believe. We just got to get through it. That's all. We said that too for a lot of people, man. Once they won the White House, you know, people were really, really upset. People were really, really upset, and I understand. I get it. you know, the person that you voted for didn't get in there, and you know, people were having a whole big uh a meltdown. You know, people were having a meltdown, you know, and they played on that. They played on that. They played on a lot of things, man. Smart, man. I mean, if you're gonna do anything, you gotta learn how to. I mean, I give it to them or whoever is. I don't know that he's really ingenious and smart like that. Somebody is a very, cunning and knows how to, capitalize on opportunities. He's always saying, "I'm the best deal maker. I'm the best deal maker. Nobody makes better deals than me. I'm the best deal maker." So he wants to take credit for everything. I don't know that he's the best deal maker. All right. Because half of this stuff that, he probably signed his name to, it all blows up in his face. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't see how good of a deal that turned out to be. If it blew up in your face and now everybody's looking at you, and then, the only way out of it is to lie. So I don't think that was a noble thing. And everything you hear keeps coming out is they say, "Oh, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. This is not true. We just found out that's not true. This is not true either." So we have a long list of untruths that we're being told. And then he says, a controversial topic, man. Controversial topic when you speak about him. But nonetheless, the guy's almost in every room, you know what I'm saying, where there's a discussion going on. Either that or his name is being mentioned. Can you get a mod? Yes, you can. How about that? Let me make you a mod. HGTY. I'll give you a mod for the day. Let's see. Add as a moderator. There you go, sir. Okay, you're mod now. All right, HG Ty is the mod. You know what? I didn't even realize for a while. I've been doing YouTube, and I used to always see the blue badges and there's all this stuff. And there's one channel that I used to watch a lot, and everybody up there in the comments had a blue badge, but me, right? And I was feeling some kind of way, man. I was like, wait a minute, hold up, man. All these people, what do I got to do to get one of them? I didn't know. And so they never made me a mod. I never asked to be one. They never made me one. But I had been a member of that community for a while. I've been watching that YouTube channel faithfully every Sunday for almost 5 years. They know me in the chats. I never had a badge. I was like, wow. I felt some kind of way. When you ate cookies, I was there. And you were there when the cookies fell in my lap. I had to clean it up. I made a mess. Wow. You were there? What kind of cookies was it? He said they were chocolate chips. Were they the big chips or nah, the little chips? Sometimes I have peanut butter cookies, but they don't taste as good. Chocolate chips. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you for coming back, man. That's why you're the mod, man. So where's the other where are you from? Where'd you say you were from again? I don't remember. Okay. Did I subscribe to your channel? No, I didn't subscribe to your channel. Do you have content on there? Oh, you live in Rome. I'm trying to think. I think I do remember. There was a couple questions I might have asked you about that. So, damn, there was something. What did I say? There was something that was going on over there in Rome. Oh, I'm sorry about that, man. Can't give everybody access to your social media. So look, what we faced with right now across the whole globe that I really want us all to pay attention to is this new uh, airborne virus that they say looks like it's going to be a serious. We'll see. We're gonna have to just keep an eye on what the news is saying. Light in the 90s. What's going on, Light? How you been doing? Four in the morning in Australia. Wow, you're up. You're up at 4 a.m. HG Ty is the mod. So you guys, please show him some, show him some respect. Light was there too, yeah. You've been up all night, Tig. So are you? What's the nightlife over there, Tig? Tell me, man. What's the Australian nightlife? Let me look that up, because I know y'all got high gas prices. I want to see what the nightlife's. The nightlife in Australia. What's it all about, Tig? Let me know. Okay. What? Oh, this was 8 months ago. It looked like no wonder you still up at 4 a.m. What it look like they out there partying, buddy. They say, yeah, I'm up late night, YouTubing, huh? What the heck? Look at the nightlight in Perth. Are you in Perth? It's cold. Don't look like it. They ain't got no clothes on. They walking around like that. Oh, this is a year ago. This was 1 year ago. Let me see. 8 months ago, Australian winter nightlife on Brisbane. Where's that at? Oh, it's winter over there now. 30 Cent? What's 30 Cent all about? I need to go. All right, Light, you be easy, man. Thanks for stopping in, man. Hit that like button on the way out. It's winter there now? Okay. Peace, Light in the night. Oh, you're in Tasmania. Okay, Tasmania. Well, from the looks of this video here, it looks like there's a pretty good like the youth are out there. I want to say the youth, you know. Queen Island, yeah. Brisbane is in Queen Island. That's where I'm looking at, Queen's Island in Australia. It's a big crowd over there, young people out at that time of night. It looks like downtown Manhattan to me. What is channel activity? I don't know what you mean by what is channel activity. I appreciate you guys for joining, man. Keeping the stream going. You know, I don't usually do long streams. I do sometime. I clicked on me and I saw it. Oh yeah? Don't be clicking on yourself, man. Don't click on yourself. Don't do that. You're a mod. Mods don't click themselves. They say click on it. So Tag, you say you're up late night. It looks like you're over there in the cold, and it's still going. It still looks like it's a nice place to be. You know, the winter. How's the winters out there? What do you heat with? Gas, propane? Are you chopping firewood? Trying to stay warm? You know, I know the fuel prices are up, and they're probably charging you guys to get to heat your house up, man. You know, that's why everybody should just go back to doing. Build yourself a fireplace. I love a fireplace. I love a fireplace. You know, you go out there. You don't even gotta go chop down no trees. There's plenty of there are plenty of tree limbs that just break and fall to the ground. Right? You get those because they're already dried out. Stack, you know, cut them down to size, split them, stack them, and you know you can start burning right away as soon as you get home. Heat the house up. I used to do it. Brisbane. You said where'd you say you were at? Power going crazy, and we're running out. We're using five. Also, yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Like, so you staying up trying to keep the fire going. You want to keep the, you know what I'm saying? You want to keep the fire going, huh? That's what's up. I used to do the same thing. Sit up all night. I sit down there and I keep the fire going. Throw another one in. Throw another one in. Throw another one in. Before you know it, you know, burned all the daggone wood. Drunk up all the wine. Sitting by the fireplace. Sheesh. You know, they're trying to make it illegal. Well, I heard that before, that in some areas they were trying to make it, yeah, Brisbane. They were trying to make it illegal to burn firewood because of the carbon emissions, I guess, coming from the fireplace. Like, come on, bro. You serious? Oh, that's polluting the air. Subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you for subscribing, Tag, man. I see that. I had to put my phone on a charger. It just shut off on me. So we're gonna try to keep this thing going. There we go. It's not the best. It's not the best, but this sounds a lot better. That sounds better. I know you guys can hear me. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Well, I'm very sorry for everybody that my live got interrupted because my poor battery just don't want to charge this stupid iPhone. Now I'm gonna try to switch over to my computer, and in the event that this now, I'm gonna go OBS and I'm gonna do it live. I'm complete. Because I'm already live, so that way I can stay live even if my phone doesn't charge. I gotta start my live stream over here. Come on, you stupid thing. I do apologize, man. Maybe I can. OBS Studios. Remind me later. All right, so I'm going to end this live because my battery is acting up. Like, subscribe, and then leave a comment and come back and join me later. Everybody that did come into the live, I appreciate you, and I will talk to you soon. I'll probably go live a little later on, a few hours, but I want to really charge this phone. And I'm going to get back to editing some other stuff I got going on. So appreciate you guys. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Be safe out there. Remember what I said, man. You know what I'm saying? Be safe. Start wearing a mask, man.